So the magnet journey for both first-time applicants and redesignating organizations really begins with a good self-assessment. This is a really critical step where your organization really evaluates how well its nursing practices, policies, your nursing outcomes, how well those all align with the magnet standards. And then really in that process, identifying any gaps that need to be addressed. I do want to mention right here that I feel like I can't overemphasize how important this self-assessment. A lot of people call this the gap analysis. I really can't overemphasize how important this phase is. The self-assessment really does set the foundation for your entire magnet journey. This is really where you take a deep, honest look at your organization's nursing policies, practices, and outcomes to see how well they align or how well they meet or exceed the magnet standards. And this is also where you identify gaps that need to be addressed. Now, let me just share a personal story that I have worked with organizations in the past, especially redesignating ones that have tended to kind of gloss over this step. And they have assumed that because they've, been through the process before that they're still, on track. And I've seen really firsthand how dangerous this assumption can be. So if you're applying for Magnet for the first time, this self-assessment phase really does help you build a strong foundation. It's really about understanding where your organization stands today and then what structures and processes need to be developed over time as you move forward into your journey. That is things like building professional governance structure if you don't have one already, implementing mentorship and succession planning programs. Maybe you need to create some infrastructure to support evidence-based practice and research. So the good news is that, for first-time applicants, you really do have more flexibility in terms of your timeline. For redesignating organizations, the self-assessment is really just as important, but the focus really shifts. You'll need to be evaluating how well you really sustained your outcomes. You'll want to be addressing any feedback from previous appraisals. You'll also want to make sure that you are aligned with any updates to the Magnet standards, because Magnet does update their standards and criteria from time to time over the years.